A blessed day, everyone. I am Dr. Mildred M. Crisostomo, the lead proponent of the paper Apprehension and Expectation relative to student virtual teaching in an adversity-triggered situation, a computer-assisted text analysis. I share this paper with Mr. John Paul P. Miranda, and we come from the Honorio Ventura State University. Change, when happens, reverberates to everyone and everything its effect. The unprecedented challenge or change that happened at the onset of 2022 caught the whole world by surprise, the COVID-19 pandemic. Almost all agencies, institutions, organizations, businesses were affected. The effects never spared the academe. They used to be on-site teaching and learning dramatically turned into online or virtual, where the warmth of individuals was changed into the mediation of screen. The individuals who were surprised with the effects of the pandemic were the student teachers or the education students who are bound to have their practicum in the form of practice teaching. Their excitement in the practice of the profession has transformed into apprehension. Their expectations tripled because of the many barriers that took its way to their supposedly enjoyable practice teaching. The researchers aim to surface the apprehension and expectation of state university student teachers in their practicum during the pandemic. Through the use of computer-assisted and thematic analyses, this study sought answers to the following questions. 1. How may the texts of the participants be described through the descriptive statistics and sentiment analyses? 2. How may the participants' apprehension be described? 3. What are the expectations of the participants in their student virtual teaching during the pandemic? 3 classes of fourth-year education and English major students who were about to be deployed to their individual schools for their internship were selected and asked to participate. A one-page essay written during a word processor related to the aforementioned topic was asked to be submitted. The students from 3 sections were given 3 days to submit the essay. In total, 99 students submitted individual essays about their apprehensions and expectations. There are 31,583 words, comprising of 181,228 letters and special characters found from essays submitted by the students. When the data was subjected to several pre-processing techniques, such as removing punctuation marks and stripping of any extra or leading white spaces, 180,153 letters from 1,479 sentences remain. When further pre-processing techniques were applied, removing stop words, changing case to lowercase, these reduced the total number of words to 17,076. This makes the corpus of this study for text analysis. To determine the emotion of the essays, the NRClex Python package was used. It is a Python package primarily developed to recognize emotions embedded in a text based on 8 different emotions, such as fear, anger, anticipation, trust, surprise, sadness, disgust, and joy, on top of the typical 2 sentiments, positive and negative. Also, for the qualitative part, this study utilized qualitative phenomenological research designed to produce data elements necessary for thematic formation. The participants who were selected using the criteria like a 4th-year regular BSed in English student had his internship virtually or during the academic year 2021-2022 and had completed both the in-campus and off-campus student teaching programs, both virtual successfully, were submitted to an interview through the use of open-ended questions. And for data analysis, Clark and Braun in 2006 was utilized. With regard to the results of the study, there are 3,211 unique words within the corpus. Figure 2 illustrates the top 10 most frequently appearing words. The word class ranked the highest, followed by learning, online, year, teaching, also, time, one, need, and face-to-face. The word student and teacher were excluded in the list. Figure 3, by the way, let me see that. Figure 3, on the other hand, illustrates the emotional affect scores detected using the NR-CLEX library. Positive emotion is 2,111. It scored the highest among the 10 emotions reported. This was followed by trust, surprise, anticipation, negative, sadness, anger, fear, joy, and disgust. These results indicated that despite the threat and potential setbacks due to COVID-19 pandemic, student teachers are generally leaning positive, optimistic, and looking forward towards their student teaching practicum. As stated by Rappler, based on their recent poll, students are eager to return to face-to-face classes despite multiple challenges ahead. Not to mention that the students viewed this learning modality particularly when COVID-19 was not an issue. An earlier study even further showed that student teachers under normal circumstances prefer teaching in traditional face-to-face rather than in virtual setting. When it comes to participants' apprehension, the following themes emerge: lack of actual exposures and failure to develop rapport. Meanwhile, in terms of their expectation, these are the themes: no learning amid challenging situation, more developed and capable self to address challenges. It is clear, therefore, that despite the situation where they were in, students remain very positive and forward-looking. Here are some of the testimonies of the participants that supported the themes that were formed. Based on the analyzed data, 1, the study was able to show the top 10 frequently appearing words using sentiment analysis. 2, the participants' apprehensions in their practice teaching amid adversity-triggered situation are lack of exposures and failure to develop rapport. 3, despite the situation when they had their student teaching, the participants' expectations include no learning amid challenging situation and more developed and capable self to address challenges. And out of such findings of the study, it is clear that the participants are eager to return to traditional face-to-face classes for their practicum, despite the threat posed by the ongoing pandemic. 2, the participants are fully aware of what student teaching requires of them and can do for them, which are highly technical and social in nature. 3, optimism and resiliency of participants were surfaced when asked about their expectations in their student teaching amid the pandemic. And in consideration of the conclusions, 1, apply new and other existing text mining and analytical techniques to further analyze the text data sets in this study. A large data set is also recommended for future analysis. 2, in the midst of a very challenging situation, schools may come up with contingency plan to not disrupt any important part of students' education like student teaching. 3, teachers may sustain giving motivation to their students, especially in the face of an adversity-triggered situation like a pandemic, to somehow meet instead of sacrificing latter's expectations. And 4, future researchers may make a follow-up study relative to the teaching experiences and performance of those who had their student teaching program during the pandemic. That would be all for this paper. Thank you very much for listening.